So this is going to be a little bit of a different video to me. If this is the first time you're watching my channel, then you're good. You can check out the rest of my stuff if you like. If you've seen my channel before, I guess I owe you an explanation. The reason I'm doing this and not what I usually do is I'm in my final semester of my law degree, and nothing else but law right now is on my mind, and I guess this kind of came to me more easily. I also got inspired by some other videos that are on YouTube. So the premise of today is, as a British law student, and I make that announcement right now, I'm basically going to watch the very famous clip of How to Get Away with Murder, Season 1, Episode 1, of when Annalise, I believe, walks into her classroom and introduces her students to her criminal law class. So as a law student, I'm basically going to do the whole thing of how accurate is this? A couple things to clarify just right now, since I'm a British law student. Some of the American stuff I will have just researched before to make sure that I'm getting it right. Because of the history between the UK and the USA, the law systems are the same. The laws, however, are a little bit different. So while I feel confident enough speaking about this kind of stuff, I will make sure that I'm telling you the right stuff. I'm literally reviewing just how legally accurate legal dramas are. So without any further ado and any further talking, I'm going to start this clip.
Good morning. I don't know what terrible things you've done in your life up to this point, but clearly your karma is out of balance to get assigned to my class.
So this, I guess, is a cool way for a professor to like scare all his students, or all her students. Yeah, I mean, classes this size are totally common. The teachers are very vocal like this. The only thing I'm not totally sure about is that an actual practicing attorney would run an entire module. Modules at universities obviously have syllabi, and university professors have more duties as professors than just hold and give lectures. And practicing attorneys are very busy people, so whilst I have had classes taken by practicing barristers, as they're called in the UK, those are usually kind of an addition to lectures or seminars like this, which are held by professors. So they have all the time to run the module, to run the exams, and check our stuff like that. These people are busy, and really, I don't know how accurate that is, that she has her own entire module to run on top of her practicing law.
Professor Annalise Keating, and this is Criminal Law 100, or as I prefer to call it, How to Get Away with Murder.
So this scene has caused me to kind of never get into this show. The problem with this, obviously this is a legal drama and she needs to, you know, this is the title of the show. Criminal law is not just murder or how to get away with it. Criminal law is physical assault, sexual assault, drug smuggling, theft, kidnapping, breaking and entering, some torts coming to it. So just to say that I don't think her entire module would have been just on murders. There's so much more to cover in law school that if they were to hold an entire class on just murder, and even underneath murder there comes manslaughter, and there comes you know, every defense to different types of killing of a person. You know, just killing a person doesn't always equate murder. So yeah, that's not likely that they're gonna have an entire class on just the crime of murder. You cover a lot of things in law, and this would probably be like maybe 1 or 2 classes.
Unlike many of my colleagues, I will not be teaching you how to study the law or theorize about it, but rather how to practice it in a courtroom.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. There's going to be syllabus in that class, and she's gonna have to follow the syllabus. I think it's quite unlikely that she can just do her own class and kind of only do like real courtroom stuff. That kind of comes after practice. I know for a fact that American law school is very much theory-based. And since this is Criminal Law 101, this is probably very inaccurate. They would probably need to like enroll in like an extracurricular kind of class, or like an extra class maybe a couple years into their law degree to do like a placement-based kind of stuff.
A real lawyer. Now to our first case study. The aspirin assassin. Tell us the facts. Connor Walsh.
Right, so now she's given the students homework, and they're gonna give her like basically facts about what happened in this case. Yeah, this is pretty common. She's obviously very intimidating, but the way those students are answering the questions.
The Commonwealth v. Gina Sadowski was a case of attempted murder. The defendant, Ms. Sadowski, worked as the second assistant to the victim, Arthur Kaufman, the CEO of an advertising agency. Ms. Sadowski was not only his assistant, though. She was also his mistress.
What happened after Mr.
Yeah, two things there. The law students are not that like outspoken. He's clearly an actor, and like he added some sauce and some meat to this you know, saying of facts of the case. Very often the facts of the case, especially in a classroom, are not really that relevant. You kind of say this in like 1 or 2 sentences. Husband, wife substitutes drug for husband, husband dies. It's very, very that, rather than, oh, she was a mistress, she this, and that. The other thing, the guy wearing a suit, that's actually pretty accurate. I guess law students feel very, like, I don't know, serious going into law lectures, and some of us, not me, ever. Some of my colleagues have worn 3-piece suits to class. It is ridiculous, but that happens.
Establish the actus reus. What was the mens rea?
Yeah, pretty standard. First thing you learn in criminal law, actus reus, mens rea. So yeah, the actus reus in this case, the guilty act, was the killing of her husband. Now she's asking this guy what the mens rea was.
Wesley Gibbons.
The mens rea? Right.
Day one and you're unprepared?
No. Well, yes, but I didn't know there was anything to prepare.
I emailed the assignment to the entire class 2 days ago.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Mr. Gibbons, as a defense attorney, I spend most of my time around professional liars. So you have to work really hard to fool me.
I only got accepted here 2 days ago. From the wait list. So that's probably why you didn't get my email address.
Let me help you out. Actus reus means guilty act, the poisoning of Mr. Kaufman with an aspirin, whereas mens rea means guilty mind. So what was Miss Sadowski's mens rea?
Yeah, this entire kind of exchange is very, like, threatening. I would find it very unlikely to have a professor like that who kind of shouts and yells in your face and is very intimidating. She's a defense attorney as well. They're usually much nicer than this. And okay, so now she's obviously said actus reus being guilty act and mens rea being guilty mind. Yes, that's totally correct. So let's see what happens next.
Think, Mr. Gibbons. It's nothing more than common sense.
It's true.
To kill.
Will the individual who just spoke please stand and repeat the answer?
The mens rea, also referred to as intent, was to kill Mr. Kaufman.
That's right. Your name?
And this was probably, to me, like the last nail in the coffin for this show. Yeah, I mean, mens rea is guilty mind, but obviously this girl also referred to it as intent. That's totally incorrect. Mens rea is, intent is a type of mens rea, and it's one of the things that actually have to be proven. So if they're just doing a case study and they only knew the facts, the mens rea of the defendant, so the way it works is kind of for this lady, for this wife to be actually charged with murder, she has to have, the prosecution have to prove the actus reus of taking away the life of the husband and mens rea of intent to kill. If there is anything lower than intent, such as negligence, then she can't be committed for murder. She can be committed for manslaughter or something lower than that, something that carries a lower sentence. So to say that mens rea is also referred to as intent is just incorrect. They don't know that her mens rea was intent unless they have read the judgment as well, and that's not always factual either. Mens rea is, as in any court of law, something that's part of fact that's been proven at trial isn't necessarily what really happened in real life, obviously. So this answer is very simple that she gives, but it's kind of wrong on many, many levels.
Laurel? Castillo?
Never take a learning opportunity away from another student. No matter how smart you need everyone to think you are.
Yeah, this is, she's very intimidating. I have never met a lecturer like that, and yeah, each to their own, but whatever. So this is basically it. I don't want to take any more of your time, and obviously there are so many more clips of people learning law or like practicing law on TV, on like legal dramas, so I could totally do this if you liked this. If you didn't, just let me know down in the comments below, and I hope you learned something and I hope that you had fun. I'm gonna let you go and I will see you in my next video. Bye!